Yo, what's good with y'all? It's your boy Abram Mitchell. You are now tuned in for another episode of the Triple M Show, where you get to unlock the secrets of a money-making mindset. And y'all know every single week we push to bring on bigger, better guests. And all of our guests are great, but as a show, overall, we want to do better every single week. So we push to do that. Today we're gonna do it a little bit different. Y'all got me. So I'm gonna be y'all guest for today. I see a lot of people, y'all DM me, ask me questions. People give great reviews about the show. And before I even get into what I'm gonna talk about, make sure y'all like, subscribe, share, comment the show. I appreciate those of you that have DM'd me, shot me messages about the show, talk to me about the things that y'all have learned. This is the reason why we're doing this. This is the reason why I do this, is for y'all to have access to information for free. And, the information that we talk about on this show, you apply yourself and can actually, change your whole life, change your whole situation. The people we bring on here, some of them come from, some of the worst situations and have brought themselves out of and became successful. And why not you? Why not you? So appreciate everybody for the support that we've gained so far. We're going to continue to be consistent with our episodes. Like I said, we're going to continue to look to get better with these episodes, and the feedback is appreciated. So today, y'all got me as your guest. Y'all got me. So there's a few points I want to talk about today. And some of y'all asked me, where's your story? How'd you get started? Never really had the opportunity to really break down my story and how I got started in entrepreneurship up until now on this show. So, of course, y'all know who I am, but I'm originally from Louisiana. So, grew up in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Originally, my family from New Orleans, so kind of grew up back and forth my entire life. But I grew up always watching my parents work and do whatever they can to help people. So when people, ask me, why do you even help people? Probably because, I watched my parents do it. I watched them taking people into our house even when we didn't have it, and make sure that they have food on their plate, make sure that they have a roof over their head, and whatever they could do to help provide for the family, So I grew up watching my parents do that, but also I grew up watching them work a lot, and as a result, I wanted to become an entrepreneur, and I'm saying wanted because at the time I wasn't one. But what I was watching my parents get up and hustle every day in their business because I didn't watch my parents, go and clock into a 9-to-5 job. Not saying anything is wrong with that, but again, like I didn't see my parents going clock into a job. I actually seen my parents working for themselves, owning businesses. And when I say businesses, they have a glass business and they had a fireworks stand with us growing up. So. And it didn't start off that way. They had side hustle things that my dad had to get right, just different things. We didn't come up rich or anything, but a great example was, them showing me that I didn't have to work for somebody. I didn't have to get a job to provide for myself and provide for eventually my family, but also, they also indirectly taught me what it's like to build a job for yourself. Okay, so like I said, I grew up watching my parents work very hard, seeing them go to, their job, which they own the business. And the reason I say their job is because they was the business. If they don't get up and work, money is not coming in. And whenever you get into entrepreneurship, whenever you're building a business or building a company, your goal is not to work for that company for the rest of your life. Your goal is not to put yourself in a new rat race, you know what I'm saying? Or put yourself on a hamster wheel. And what a lot of people do, a lot of entrepreneurs, they start a company, they start getting some success, or they start making some money, and then they automatically think that they're the best to ever do it. And whenever they try to hire and grow a team, they never fully trust someone else to help them grow that team, or never trust someone else to do some of the things that they previously did in their business. So those are my parents, My mom, she don't want to give away the phones in the glass business. She feel like can't nobody close the glass deals better than her. My dad, he's constantly out marketing, putting out flyers, putting out signs. And when it come down to it, he'll get in and repair a windshield or replace a windshield or whatever he got to do, or tint a windshield himself. And as a result, we grew up not being able to go to the family activities or go on vacations or things like that because it was always work. It was always work, Hey, we got to work. Glass business, a company, work. So it was great to see them work for themselves, but also at the same time, I saw, okay, when I grow up and own my business, I don't want to be tied down to my business forever, because why do you want to make money? Just think about that. Why do you want to become successful? At the end of the day, I feel like everyone knows that money is just a piece of paper. Like, it's a man-made object. If they got on news and said hats is how you buy things, hats is the mean of trade, then everybody will be trying to get hats, So the object isn't, I'm not gonna say that, but money isn't the end goal. There's always a underlying, reason as to why you need to make money. And with me personally, I think it's because of freedom. The reason you want to be successful, the reason you want to make money is because you want to be free. And what's freedom? Being able to travel when you want to, being able to eat whatever you want to, whether it's good or bad, being able to spend the time with the people you want to, whenever you want to. Essentially, freedom is controlling your time, because time is something we can't get back. We could get money back. They print money. You know what I'm saying? You could blow some money and go make it again. I've done it multiple times. You know what I'm saying? You probably have too. So at this point in your life, you should understand that money is not your most valuable asset. And time is also not your most valuable asset. And the reason I say that, you always hear people say time is your most valuable asset. One, I don't think time is your most valuable asset because you can't control it, but also it depends on your mindset. I believe that your mindset is your most valuable asset, because 90% of people out here wasting their time. 90% of people out here exchanging their time for money. So how is time your greatest asset and you're not using it as your greatest asset? Now, once you understand that you can't get time back, once you understand how you can leverage other people's time to free yourself, then time becomes an asset for you. But until then, we got to get our mindset right. We got to first realize that, hey, I don't get this back. And I know some of y'all are watching this and like, oh, we know that. We know we don't get time back. But let's look at what you do daily. Let's look at your actions. Do you really, really, really treat your time like you're not gonna get it back? Do you really put in that work that you know you need to in order to get to that next level, to become free? Or are you just going through the motions? Because what we do is we get this sense that there's gonna be a tomorrow. There's always gonna be a tomorrow. You don't know that. You could be here today, gone tomorrow. And that's one of the things that I took personal, that I took literal coming up, and still to this day, because I remember people used to always be like, bro, why you rushing? You got time. Why you dropping out of college? Why you going all in with this, with real estate? You might be making a mistake, but in reality, I always felt like time is running out, because it is. When you think about it, your time is running out. You're getting older every single day, every single year, every single second. 5 minutes ago, I can't get that back. I can't get my previous 5 minutes back. So once you start really, really thinking about time and how you can't get it back, you start changing some of the decisions that you make, some of the actions that you're doing, and most of all, some of the people that you spend your time with. Because you're wasting a lot of it right now. And I'm gonna be the one to tell you that. And I'm not gonna act like I'm perfect. I'm not gonna act like I don't waste time at times. But what you focus on, well, let's see what I'm trying to say. If you don't focus on it, then you're gonna continuously waste it. I know the second I waste time. I know when I'm wasting time. You feel me? So if you just keep going through the motions and not, being accountable, then even when you're wasting time, you're not even gonna know that you're making that mistake. You're not even gonna know it. Okay? So if you working a job right now, if you working a 9 to 5, you are in a situation where you're exchanging your time for money. Okay? That's the facts. Whether you like it or not, whether you love your job or you don't, or you hate your job, you are exchanging time for money. And there's only so much time in a day. So the things I like to talk about with people is learning skills that helps you collapse time, that helps you make it to where, okay, instead of this job saying, if I work an hour, I'm gonna make $20, $30, $40, I know that me spending an hour looking for motivated sellers could lead me to a $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 deal. You see? So, like I said, I grew up watching my parents be self-employed, watching them work, not being able to go on vacations like that, not really having, extra money, things like that, not really, being in a position where I could be educated on business, not business, educated on, credit or, other things like that, because my parents didn't go to college. Again, and like I said, they're self-employed in their business. So what I did learn is the hustle. What I did learn is you got to get up and do something if you want something, And eventually I started working in their business. I started working in the glass company. I started working in the fireworks stand. And what I started to learn is that what you're doing, the vehicle you in, it matters. So whenever I'm in the fireworks stand selling fireworks to people, cool, I'm making a little bit of money. Making a little bit of money as a sales rep. Then when I start repairing windshields in the glass business, I'm making probably double the money. Well, a little bit more than that. Double, triple the money that I'm making inside of the firework tent. And then when I got into real estate, I'm making, like I said, I might spend a few hours to make $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 and up. So the vehicle you're in matters, and that's why you have to always be looking to improve your skills. So whenever I got to college, my first year I was broke. I ain't have a job, didn't have a business. I just wanted to focus on college, being a college student. You know how it is. You get out your house, you feel like, you finally on your own. You know what I'm saying? I went to college like an hour and a half away from where I lived at with my parents. So shit, I'm like, damn, I'm gone. You know what I'm saying? I'm on my own. And that first taste of being on my own made me realize even more that, hey, I have to learn a skill set that is going to take care of me, because I was broke my first year of college. I ain't had nothing, no money, didn't have gas money to put in my car, barely had money to eat food outside of what my meal plan that I had on campus, and I didn't like that. I didn't like it at all. So when I came back that next year, that's when I started my glass company. And the glass company was great because I was able to move off campus, get an apartment, pay for that apartment with the glass company, repairing windshields. Whenever there's a replacement, I hire somebody to do that. And when I'm talking about the glass company, it's like, say you riding up the street, you get a rock, hit your windshield. I know it didn't happen to everybody. You riding on the interstate, 18-wheeler, kick up a rock, boom, it hit your windshield, now you got a crack on it. Well, I made money repairing those cracks. $70, $80 every single time. Great hustle, very great hustle to get in And that's what took care of me. You know, I was able to move off campus, pay for my apartment rent. That was $600 at the time, which, man, those was the days. $600 rent, that was the days. But now, okay, I got the glass business. Appreciate that, bro. So I got the glass business. Hey, y'all gotta see that. I gotta make sure y'all see the M, bro. There we go. We got it right here. We got it right here for them too, so they can see the M. So got the glass business. Noticed that, okay, cool. Instead of working at Home Depot for an hour to make $10, I could go at the car wash, because the car wash got a lot of cars coming there. So I go to the car wash for an hour, and 3 cars might pull up with a chip on their windshield, and I close all 3 of them. I can make anywhere from, $200 to $250 in an hour. So that's when it started clicking for me. Damn. You get paid based off of your skills. That's how you make money, based off your skills. So eventually, you know, in the glass business, I got tired of being outside, being in the hot ass sun. You know, in Louisiana, it's hot. Like, I mean, some of y'all might not know, but if you ain't never been to Louisiana, at the bottom of the map, it's hot. Get hot and humid, hot and hazy. So I didn't like working in the sun, and I didn't like the slow seasons, you know. So I thought about opening up a fireworks stand, but then I came across real estate. I came across wholesaling real estate. I came across, and this way y'all need to take notes at right now, because I'm gonna drop some game on you. So I came across wholesaling real estate in 2018. I'm sorry, I didn't give y'all a timeline. I started college in 2016. That's when I started college. That whole first year, 2016, 2017, I was broke. And then I came back in 2017, started my glass business, did that for about a year. And then in 2018 is when I got into wholesaling real estate, specifically August, June. That's summertime. Like, June is when I first heard about it. August is when I started doing something, okay? So that whole July, I was spending time just looking at podcasts, researching, studying as much as I can, ended up purchasing a course, and then August is when I went full-fledged into it. So August of 2018 or June of 2018, I come across this niche in real estate. This is the best way to get into real estate too. So this niche in real estate where I could find somebody that wants to sell their property, negotiate a price, usually 50 to 70% of what that property is worth, put that on paper, and then sell that piece of paper to a real estate investor and make $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 in between. So when I first heard of this, I'm like, damn, wait, I could get into real estate without no license, no credit, no money, none of this. Y'all probably heard of wholesaling real estate. Like, if you watching this podcast, you done seen me talk about it. If you follow me on Instagram, you done seen me talk about it. You done seen somebody talk about it in this day and age. Back in 2018, it was nowhere near as popular as it is now. And I know some of y'all gonna be like, well, it's too late. Just think about it. Homes sell every day, regardless of how many people knows about wholesaling real estate or not. Properties sell. And the reason that properties are gonna continue to sell is because homeowners and people in life is gonna continue to happen. People are gonna continue to be in situations where they need to sell their real estate for a quick buck. And that's where wholesalers make their money. That's where deal sources make their money. We the plug. You know what I'm saying? Like, we the plug. Like, I find the best deals in the market and I bring buyers and sellers together. I'm in the middle of this transaction. So I find that out in 2018, did my research, and I hit the ground running. And when I first started off, I remember, like, just not knowing nothing, not knowing anything. Getting on the phone with people just laughing at me, cursing me out, hanging the phone up on me. Me feeling like, this shit is a scam. You know, wholesaling real estate, like, this shit a scam, like, this ain't it. You know, and really, like, I was outside it. Like, what's crazy is, I was, like I said, I had the glass business. That's how I paid for my rent. I remember I would be at the car wash that I was at, waiting for cars to come up. I would be there and trying to make calls for real estate at the same time. So one of my first days doing it, I'm sitting there at the car wash and I'm making calls and I'm trying to check the windshields as the car's pulling up. People looking at me crazy. I'm on the phone, checking their windshield. They looking at me crazy. And I'm just like, man, my life is a mess right now. Like, I'm trying to do the cars to make money and then funnel this money into my real estate business. And then that's when I realized, I'm like, I don't have a process I'm following. Like, I'm just, I did my research and saw, okay, you could pull a list of data because at the end of the day, wholesaling is a sales and marketing game. You get in front of people that's interested in selling their property through cold calling, through text messaging, through door knocking, through sending out direct mail. There's Facebook marketing, there's Google marketing, there's commercials, there's TV ads, there's bandit signs. There's so many ways to get in front of somebody that may sell their property. The way I started off was cold calling, but I did not have a script. I did not know how to run the numbers. I did not know a follow-up system. I didn't know that the money was in the follow-up, meaning that most people, even if they say maybe or yes, is not ready to make that decision on the first call. I didn't know any of this. I was just doing it, far from perfect, but I was getting somewhere because I was putting in the reps. And what really happened was I learned what I didn't know. I learned that what I didn't know about this industry is what was holding me back from making money. So what I did in August is I invested into a course. I spent $4,500 on that. Shout out to Brent Daniels, TTP. But I spent $4,500 on that course. And what it did was I had got a script. I learned that there were systems I could use to make 300 calls in an hour, 1,000 calls in a day. And if I could talk to more people, then that improves my chances of getting a deal. But also I understood like what are the key things I'm looking for in a motivated seller? You know, what are the 4 pillars of a lead? You know, whenever I get on the phone with somebody, what is my goal? What information am I trying to get? Well, whenever we're trying to get a lead in real estate or whenever we're looking for a good deal and we get on the phone with somebody, this is just wholesaling specifically, we want to find out the seller's motivation, which that's the most important thing. We want to find out, are they motivated to sell their property? We want to know the condition of the property. We want to know the timeline that they want to move on. We want to know the price. So me knowing those things helped me out because now I'm going into the conversation with more confidence because I know what information I'm needing to get. I also learned how to analyze deals, how to come up with an offer on a property. These things were so important because now, okay, beforehand, I'm taking reps and not really knowing what I'm doing, so are they really meaningful reps? Now, I'm knowing a little bit more about what I'm doing, so now these meaningful reps, I'm getting more better. My growth is exponential every time I make a phone call, every time I talk to a potential seller, every time I look at another property and I practice running comps, analyzing the numbers on the deal, okay? I immersed myself in the game back in 2018. So I'm going to meetups, this all that summer, June to August. I'm going to real estate meetups. The easiest way is just go on Google and search real estate meetups. You'll find meetups. I'm going to real estate meetups, meeting realtors, meeting other investors. Like I said, I'm looking at podcasts, doing everything I can. I'm immersing myself in this game. And then when I bought that course, that just made it that much better for me. And I ended up locking up my first deal. Closed that deal October 19, 2018, made $32,000. So from the time I learned what wholesaling was in June to the time that I made money in the game was 4 months. Imagine being a college student, just in college, going through the motions, knowing that you don't want to work a job, you don't want to work a 9 to 5, learning about this thing called wholesaling real estate, trying it, failing at it, getting cursed out, getting told no, not feeling like you really, up until me getting that deal locked up, I felt like I had really got nothing done. You know, like when I'm starting, me looking back at it now, I know, okay, damn, these was meaningful reps. But being in that fire, I'm like, damn, this ain't for me. I ain't getting nothing done. That's why you always one phone call away, because up until that phone call that became a deal, I'm like, man, I ain't getting nothing done. So that's why it's important to understand the small wins. Understand that the reps matter, that they add up. So the problem with society right now is you learn some new information, you try it, and you want this microwave success. And it's probably because of social media. It's probably because you're looking at somebody that is saying or trying to sell you a course most of the time, and saying, making it peaches and cream, just telling you the great side about it, but not telling you what you're going to go through in order to get to that goal. So I got that deal, made $32,000 October 19, 2018, and I dropped out of college. Like, that was it. Like, I'm good on that. I dropped out of college, and my parents ain't like that, but hey, this is my life. Like, I'm going all in with this because I know how it felt like to be trying to run this glass thing and trying to start this wholesale business at the same time. They talk about the average millionaire got 7 streams of income, and people think that means you have to have 7 different businesses. No. You can have multiple streams from one business, and I'm about to tell you how I've been able to create multiple streams of income from my one wholesale company. So, dropped out of college and moved to Nashville, Tennessee from Louisiana, and that's when I started building my business, and I started investing in myself more. Paying for more mentorship, paying for more coaching, more consulting, and I started understanding how to build a team, And I felt that starting off, like it wasn't, the easiest thing in the world, trying to hire somebody else and teach them, and not only just teach them, but trust them. And like I was saying at the beginning, my goal was not to build a company that I'm tied down to every single day, because that becomes miserable. So I was focused on, man, I need to build a team, because if I got to be on the phones chasing deals, then, how can I really grow doing that? If I'm chasing deals every single day. So my focus was to build a team that could chase deals for me, build a system that could chase deals for me. And as a result, I started building a team. And like I said, it not the easiest thing. I'm saying, like, when it comes to hiring people, training people, you got to have some patience. And also, you got to be able to guide them and lead them And me being 20 years old, 21 at the time when I made my first hire, I wasn't the best leader. I'm still learning this game myself. So hiring people and building a team helps you become a better leader. That's what it did for me. Because, again, I started learning what I wasn't good at, what tendencies I didn't have, what training systems I did not have set up in my company. So eventually started getting it right, building a team that was producing deals, and that's what gave me the free time to then start paying attention to actual real estate investing. Because, like I said, wholesaling is a sales and marketing game. You wholesaling real estate, all you doing is putting out marketing to get interest, to get motivated sellers, and then you're getting on the phone and you gotta have sales skills to close that deal. You're not buying the property, you're not fixing up the property, you're not dealing with financing, lenders, contractors, loans, you're not dealing with all that. Managing the budget, you're not dealing with all that. So wholesaling is not real estate, but wholesaling is what's gonna help you fund your real estate company, because you're making all this money wholesaling. My first deal, $32,000. So you can see that there's a path to stack up $100,000 pretty quickly through wholesaling real estate. So I start stacking my money, and then I start realizing, okay, the people that I was selling these deals to was making more money. Boom, vehicle. Back to what I was talking about, vehicles matter. So then I'm like, okay, cool. I got this skill of wholesaling that can make me 10, 20, 30,000. Sometimes, shit, you can make 70, 80, 100,000 on a wholesale deal. But at the end of the day, on average, I'm gonna make about 24,000 on the deal. And then I start seeing people that were buying the properties, fixing them up and flipping them, was making an average of like triple what I was making. Sometimes 10 times what I was making. Actually, back in 2020, I sold this deal to an investor, and he made $250,000 flipping that property. and I made 25 grand wholesaling it to him. I'm happy with the 25, but I'm like, how do I make 250,000 on the deal? So that's when I started understanding, okay, I need hard money lenders, I need contractors. I already got the deal. You know, that's why I love wholesaling, because now I already know how to analyze a deal. If I'm finding a deal low enough to where somebody will pay me a markup for it, then what happens whenever I put myself in position to buy the deals that I'm selling? So boom, 2020 is when I bought my first flip. I made $80,000 off of that deal. All I had to do was ask one of my buyers how do you fund these projects? Where do you get $300,000? Where do you get $400,000, $500,000 to fund this project? Hard money lenders. Hard money lenders will actually lend to you without you having much experience, without you having a great credit score, without you having, really, they don't even check bank statements like that. So 2020, bought that first flip, made $80,000 off of that deal. And eventually in 2021, I got into new construction real estate and made $350,000 off of that first deal. So the point I'm making is, there's a buildup. Every time I'm learning a new skill, I'm giving myself a raise. And that's how you could give yourself a raise, is by learning a new skill. Learning a new skill and applying yourself, and then boom, you can instantly give yourself a raise. And that's what I've been able to do throughout my career. But at the end of the day, you have to be committed. You have to be. And it's so important to make that decision to commit, especially nowadays, because we're in a time where there's a constant attack on your mind. Constant. This is everybody, male, female, white, black. I don't care who you are, what race you are. I don't even care what area of the map you on. There's a constant attack on our minds to keep us distracted and to keep us a consumer, and you must break out of it. It kind of feel like a matrix. People always talk about the matrix, the matrix, the matrix. Well, the matrix is social media. The matrix is the stuff you seeing on TV. The matrix is all of these things that are not bringing you value, but is right there at arm's reach to you, and is distracting you from learning a skill, distracting you from building a company, distracting you from using the time that you have to educate yourself, to put in those reps, to apply yourself. So you need to understand that whenever you're on Instagram scrolling, whenever you're on Twitter scrolling, whenever you're on Snapchat, whatever you're using, whenever you're wasting your time doing whatever, this is a constant attack on you. This is a distraction. Even whenever they put out these headlines, how does that really affect you? 90% of the information, 90% of the things, the news that's coming out today does not even really affect you like that. It don't. And even if it affect you, you probably can't even control it. And what I mean by that, I'm talking about politics and certain things like that. Like, we can't control that. What's gonna happen is gonna happen regardless. But they could control us by putting out these headlines and getting you to buy into it, getting you to, keep paying attention to what they talking about. And as a result, you just went on this podcast learning about how you can wholesale real estate and never took the action, because then you got off this, went on Instagram, and then you start talking about Usher hugging Alicia Keys for the Super Bowl. That's been the hot topic for the past week now. And then there's going to be another hot topic. I think they had something happen at the Kansas City Super Bowl parade. I think they got something going out about a rapper getting exposed. You know what I'm saying? There's always going to be another hot topic. And what you need to understand is, does this bring me value? Me paying attention to this, does this bring me value? Okay? So you got to break out of that. That's up to you. You got to hold yourself accountable. Because once you break out of that, you need to decide to commit to something. You have to commit. Because even when you're not motivated, even when you're not feeling like it, the commitment is what's gonna get you, what's gonna get you up and take that next step, make that next phone call, take that next rep. Like I said, bro, this ain't all peaches and cream. Being a business owner, being an entrepreneur, you're gonna go through tough things. You'll go through a lot of tough things. But at the end of the day, you gotta understand that, bro, you building something that's not only gonna take care of you, but could potentially take care of generations after you. So if I said, hey, if you spent a month calling people for 3 hours a day, getting cursed out, told no, getting hung up on, but within 90 days, you'll make $30,000 off of your first wholesale deal, off of your first real estate deal, without having no money, no license, no credit, would you do it? If I told you, hey, you stay committed, stay focused, you can learn, you can build the right relationships with the right lenders, with the right contractors, you can find the best deals, and then potentially make $350,000 on a new construction deal, would you do it? Would you put in the time? Would you put in the effort to learn the game? So you gotta understand that, hey, it's gonna take time. You go through mistakes. But at the end of this, there's a goal. At the end of this, I'm gonna give myself a raise. At the end of this, I'm gonna be able to help out my mom. I'm gonna be able to help out my dad. I'm gonna be able to help out my brother, my sister. I'm gonna be able to control my time, be able to take that vacation I want to take. I'm not gonna have to ask somebody, you know what I'm saying, to take off. I'm not gonna have to ask permission because I control my time. I control my life. And that's what I've been able to do for myself over the past 5 years. So from me learning how to wholesale real estate, I got into fixing flips, I got into new construction, and what y'all looking at now, Triple M, money making mindset, Triple M method. I also got into education. So that's 4 ways that I can make money, all from really this one thing that I decided to go all in with, which is wholesaling real estate. That one thing. And now I'm in a situation where I'm helping people make money. It's not a better feeling than that, you know, when you could literally give somebody some information, guide them, and help them make money that they never seen before in their life, and you make money from that. Just think about that. None of this would be possible, though, if I did not commit, if I did not eliminate distractions, if I did not eliminate people from my life that I did not need. And you know, eliminate might be a little harsh, but at the end of the day, eliminate. My circle is tight. My 2 best friends have real estate companies. They make great money off of real estate. So at the end of the day, you gotta look at who you hanging around and if that relationship is really bringing you value. Or is it a distraction? Is it adding or subtraction? It ain't no middle ground. Either it's adding or it's subtracting. And you gotta be the one to hold yourself accountable to know when to distance yourself from certain situations. You gotta know when to distance yourself. Actually, when I started this journey, man, I was around a lot of people that was negative about what I was doing. And that's one of the reasons why I dropped out and just moved 9 hours away from where I was living at. Because I knew, okay, the people that's around right now, they negative about what I'm doing. They not doing what I'm doing. And the things they're doing is not making me successful. It ain't making me no money. So why I even need to be spending all this time with them? I also read this book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I know it's cliche, but shit, man, that book right there, bro, that was a good book. If you haven't read that book, you need to go read Rich Dad, Poor Dad. You need to go read that book, because what I learned, the concept I learned in that book is that money is literally a tool. Instead of visualizing money as that piece of paper with the president or whatever, the value on it, visualize it as a hammer. What does a hammer use to do? Build things. So now I understand, okay, money is used to build. So when it's time to spend money on education, when it's time to spend money on consulting, when it's time to spend money in my business, I know that, okay, I'm using this money to grow. Most of y'all look at everything as an expense, as a bill. Oh, okay, if I invest into this is a bill. Oh, I got to spend this money to... that $4,500 investment I made turned into a multi-million-dollar organization. But you focused on the $4,500. Boom, you just shot yourself in the foot. Not realizing that you right in front, you right there. Right there. Sometimes when you're on the outside looking in, you don't realize how close you are to that big breakthrough. And me looking back, and I'm just getting started with my journey, but me looking back, just understanding, okay, man, I'm just so happy that I took those leaps. I spent the money when I had to spend it. I sacrificed when it was time to sacrifice. I stayed committed when it's time to stay committed. And now you see the proof, and you see the proof. You see the work. You see the results. Okay? So at the end of the day, like I said, we was gonna do this episode a little differently. I wanted to, give people a chance to understand where I come from, the build up of my story, and how it led to where I'm at today. And I really truly believe that I'm no different than none of y'all watching this. No different than none of y'all. We got the same 24. I didn't have no inheritance. I didn't have, my parents don't know anything about real estate investing. So I'm no different than y'all. The only different thing is that I took the action. And I kept growing those skills, kept getting better, and that's what I'm gonna continue to do. I'm gonna continue to sharpen that axe. I'm gonna continue to get better every single day. I don't care if I get 1% better. If I take an L, I got better. Like I said, whenever I first started cold calling, whenever I first got on the phones, whenever I first started trying to wholesale, I found out that what I didn't know was hurting me. So what did I do? I went and got that information that I needed. All right? So that pretty much wraps up our episode of the Triple M Show this week. I appreciate all y'all tuning in. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, share, comment, share it with some friends. Tell them share it with friends. But let's make sure that we get this out there. Because in a day and age where drama and mess and something that's not bringing you value is so easily trendable, it's so easy to trend. And that's what I was talking about. There's a attack on your mind to distract you. We got to make sure that we're helping push the things that's actually bringing value. So I know you got value from this episode, whether you know it or not. I know you got value from this episode. So make sure that you share with somebody else and let them know, hey, spend some time learning how you could fire your job. Spend some time learning how you could become free. Spend some time learning how you could control your time, how you could be free and be able to go do whatever you want whenever you want to. That's possible, y'all. Stop thinking that it's not possible. You watching people all day scrolling and looking at their reality and not understanding that could be your reality too. All you got to do is make the decision and go put in the work, and you're going to get there. You're going to get there. So I'm going to leave some links in the comments. If you're interested in getting some hands-on help from me, my team, being able to get the resources, the contracts, get everything that you need in order to get started in this business, go ahead and click those links. Go ahead and join the Triple M community. Go ahead and surround yourself with some go-getters. Surround yourself with people that are doing the same thing as you. Surround yourself with people that are ahead of you, that could literally pull you up. And that's what the Triple M community is all about. That's what Money Making Mindset is all about. Because we know that the mindset make the money. And what make the mindset? who you spend your time around, the information you consume, and the actions that you take. So if you're in a place where you need to fix your mindset, where you just need to believe, where you just need an extra kick of motivation to be committed, then you need to join the community. You need to rock with us. You need to rock with us. So make sure you hit those links. Again, make sure you help us get these episodes out there. And we're going to be back at it again next week with another episode, 7 p.m. Monday, Central Standard Time. That's when we drop. And we out. Appreciate everybody tuning in.